Welcome to the Espresso Shots. My name is Roy Dowding, and I'm joined here today by Sasha Naryshkine from Vestact. Sasha, how are things?
How are things?
How are things?
What do you mean in markets specifically?
Markets, worldwide, the usual.
Worldwide. Oh, well, BP's managed to cap the gushing oil in the Gulf of Mexico. I guess that's a good outcome. How many days is it now? Something like 75, 80, 90?
It's quite a bit.
I'm losing count. Plus, more importantly, the iPhone 4. What's with the signal issues? Because there was actually an interview on Bloomberg yesterday afternoon, our time, with one of their key developers who actually told Steve Jobs about the signal problems last year. But apparently he kind of
shrugged it off.
Yeah, and now there's a press conference, I think it's 7 o'clock tonight our time, where Apple are going to address these issues about the iPhone 4.
But the thing is, though, what can they actually do? Can they recall everything like Toyota and say, listen, we'll give you a new one? Or can they say, listen...
It might actually cost the company. I've seen early kind of estimates that it might cost them as much as $1.5 billion in order to kind of maybe replace them, or I'm not quite sure what they would look to do. I suppose we've got to wait for that press conference. But on the local front, and staying in, I guess, the telecommunications space, lots and lots of news, including from MTN, that they might be a little bit more forthcoming with their distributions, simply because the capex bill is down. So they might even pay an interim dividend, which would be a first. On the other side of the divide is Telkom, which had to pay a fine, and this relates to some contracts they cancelled way back, and it's a 9-year-old legal wrangle that's finally unwound, and they've got to pay them $80 million. But this doesn't come out of the blue, and in fact, Telkom had made provisions for this for $77 million, I think, at the last check. So it's just the finalization, really. But again, it shows you execution is key. When you're buying a company, you want to be able to buy a company where you think management is going to execute right. And MTN might be giving their chief a $33 million handshake and a 3-year restraint, but, as a shareholder of MTN and having clients who own lots of MTNs, I think it's a good outcome, because you can imagine what that guy knows. And if kind of Barty or anyone were looking to get the guy to run their business in Africa, that could be a poor showing for MTN. So I'm glad that that's actually been wound up.